Hey guys, this is my first video in the YouTube channel. Well, today I will be doing like some type of analysis and simulation to the World Cup game. And I'll be reading this because it's quite long, but I'll definitely get the info to you guys. I'll even show you guys some of the pictures if you're confused about it. So we'll just get into the World Cup Group A. First matches, simulation, and analysis. First, let's set the scene. Group A has 4 teams: Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czech Republic. Mexico are the hosts, playing at the iconic Estadio Azteca. On paper, they look like the clear favorite. But here's the thing about this group: every single team has a real weakness. Going into this tournament, nobody is coming in fully healthy. Nobody is coming in fully confident, which makes Group A genuinely one of the most unpredictable groups in the entire World Cup. So let's start with the first game. Mexico versus South Africa. Mexico are the hosts. Coach Javier Arguer, known as El Vasco, is a pragmatic manager whose philosophy is simple: defense, discipline, low to mid block, and efficient counterattacks. He doesn't care about playing beautiful football. His formula: win 1-0 or 2-0, and it worked. He won both the CONCACAF National League 2025 and Gold Cup 2025 with exactly this approach. Now let's talk about their squad. The good stuff first. Their center back pairing of Cesar Montes and Johan Venkes, both from Genoa, is rock solid. Clean from suspension, great chemistry, physically strong, that's Mexico's defense foundation. Their midfield is genuinely deep. Argure has 7 active rotation options in the middle of the park. Players like Eric Lira, Luis Romo, etc., and young talent Gilbert Mora. That depth is a real luxury. Eric Lira is particularly important because he can drop into a hybrid role as a third center back when Mexico are under pressure, giving them extra defensive cover without changing the foundation, or you could say formation. And then there's Azteca factor. Tens of thousands of Mexican fans creating an atmosphere that gives a massive physiological boost. That home energy is generally worth something on the pitch. But Mexico have 3 serious problems. Problem number 1, goalkeeper crisis. First choice keeper Luis Ángel Malagón suffered a severe Achilles tendon injury and is completely out. He's been replaced by Raul Ranger from Chivas, a decent domestic keeper but with very limited international experience. Carlos Acevedo is the technical backup, while legend Guillermo Ochoa, now 40 years old, serves as a mentor in the dressing room. At World Cup level, having an inexperienced goalkeeper is a real vulnerability. At number 2, we have right back disaster. Both of their main right backs, Julian Araujo and Rodrigo Huecas, are injured. Arguer is being forced to play Israel Reyes, a natural center back, at right back. Playing out of position in the World Cup opener against a team known for explosive wing play is a massive risk. The left side is secure with Jesus Gallardo, but that right flank is exposed. Now, problem number 3 is the striker situation. Santiago Gimenez from AC Milan is being managed carefully. He is deployed as a super sub in the second half rather than the starting. So up front, veteran Raul Jimenez from Fulham starts, a player great at holding the ball and pressing defensively, but not a prolific scorer. Now, off the bench, Guillermo Martinez as an aerial threat and Armando Gonzalez as a penalty box poacher provides backup options. South Africa, the dangerous underdog. Now, South Africa, the Bafana coach by Belgian Hugo Broos, who has managed 55 official matchups with this team. This World Cup is his emotional farewell stage before retirement. South Africa's identity is built on local club chemistry. More than half of their starting lineup comes from just two clubs, 8 players from Mamelodi Sundowns and 10 from Orlando Pirates. These players know each other's movement and instincts already. That instant chemistry is one of their greatest strengths at this tournament. Their style is consistent, quick, short passing, fluid tactical control, and brave vertical transitions going forward. Their strengths: goalkeeper Ronwen Williams is their standout player. He is in peak condition, hugely experienced, and considered one of the best goalkeepers in Africa right now. He will be the reason South Africa stays in games. In midfield, Teboho Mokoena cleared from his FIFA suspension just in time. Is their field general, leading ball circulation from the first minute. Spehelo Yaya Sidho is the most frequently selected player, trusted by Bros to break up opposition attacks. Their midfield trio of Monokoyo Sifho and veteran Themba Zwana locks the engine room with Talenta Mbata ready on the bench. But South Africa has a critical weakness. Their defense is in crisis. Both first-choice center-backs, Grant Kekana and Motobi Mlea, the duo known as CBC, are both injured and completely out. Their replacements pairing throws together senior defender Nikosa Nishi CBC from Orlando Pirates, who has 20 caps but was rarely seen at club level late in the season, alongside young MLS defender Bexeli Mbokskazi from Chicago Fire, who has only 10 caps. These two have barely played together at international level. On the right, Kosilo Madu holds firm. On the left, Samukele Kabini from Model FK in Norway steps in because first choice RB Modiba is not fully fit from a hamstring injury. Bradley Cross is the last emergency option. The young foreigner base bench depth includes Ime Ocon from Hanover 96 with 8 caps, Kulumani Ndaname with just 2 caps, and Olodwuhu Makahanya from Philadelphia Union, who only made his debut in May 26. This is an experienced backline, and their attacks has also been weakened. Starman Percy Tau, their most creative and dangerous forward, is completely ruled out due to injury. Winger Tapelo Morena also out with hip and knee problems. Elias Mokwana dropped for performance issues. Their starting front three is Svehang Moremi on the left, Oswin Apollos on the right, delivering accurate crosses, and Lai Foster from Burnley as the center striker, and an English Championship level number 9 whose position has never really been challenged. Their secret weapon, young substitute Releboholi Mofo Kang, described as a wonder kid. Bros is literally deliberately keeping him on the bench to bring him in the second half when the opposition defender starts getting tired. This kid is designed to break games open late. Just to clarify, if I'm not saying these names right, I don't really have the experience to know how they're pronounced, and Google Translate isn't really helping for me. So I hope you guys can understand what I mean. So don't worry, I think you guys will get the idea of who they are and how they're gonna play. Now the second Group A game, South Korea versus Czech Republic. South Korea have genuinely world-class individual players. Captain Son Heung-min at LAFC, Lee Kang-in from PSG, one of the most creative midfielders in Europe, Hwang Hee-chan from Wolverhampton. These are top-level European players. The problem, their coach Hong Myung-bo cannot decide how to use them. Throughout all of qualifying, Korea used a 4-back system, but in 10 of their 11 warm-up matches, Hong Myung-bo switched to a 3 center-back system, a 3-4-2-1 shape. Right before the World Cup starts, he's changing the entire tactical identity of the team. The reason, he's trying to protect Hwang In-beom, their key central midfielder who has been recovering from a serious ankle injury. The 3-back system gives extra defense cover, but the problem is it makes the team look slow, passive, and it forces one of his world-class attacking players to start on the bench. The analyst is damning. This tactical confusion is making South Korea look like a team without an identity. Passive, slow, defensive, not the explosive, counter-attacking team that they should be. There are 3 formation options going in. Option number 1 is a 4-2-3-1, the aggressive fluid system, used when Hwang In-beom is fully fit. Brings everyone back to their natural positions and maximizes transition speed. Son Heung-min on the left wing with full freedom to cut inside. Lee Kang-in free in the central midfield. Lee Jae-sung wide right, and Cho Kwang-sung as the target striker. Option 2 is a 4-3-3 or 4-1-4-1, the emergency physical system used specifically against physical dominant opponents like Czech Republic. Park Seung-ho as the sole anchor, Kim Jin-gyu and Jens Kastrup as physical box-to-box midfielders, and Song Hye-min push up as a false 9. Option 3, and this is what Hong Myung-bo has been using the most, is 3-4-2-1 or 5-2-3. 3 center backs lock the defensive area without needing a static holding midfielder. Lee Kang-in and Lee Jae-sung play as dual number 10s behind the striker. The wing backs are Lee Taek-sok and Sol Young-woo. The issue, this system requires one attacking star to sit out, and it removes the Korean natural pace and creativity. South Korea's weaknesses are clear. Their goalkeeper situation is concerning. Kim Seung-gyu is 35 and Ju Hyun-woo is 34, both relying entirely on domestic Asian football. This backup depth at goalkeeper is thin and worrying. Their defense without Chu Yun-min is imbalanced. Kim Min-jae and Lee Han-beom form a decent European-style pairing, but the squad depth behind them is dangerously thin. And the left back crisis is extreme. Kim Jun-soo being cut for Seul Yong-woo to shift left. And in some experiments, Jens Kastrup was asked to play as a wingback, despite being a pure midfielder. Their midfield is creative but physically fragile. Everything runs through Lee Kang-in, who has full freedom from PSG, but the balance beyond him is critical. The absence of pure anchor Park Yoo-won is a real gap. Hang In-beom is only just back from injury, and his fitness level is not guaranteed. Their attack is their only truly scary area. Son Heung-min, Lee Kang-in, Hyung Yi-chan, Cho Kyo-sung, and Oh Hyun-gyu off the bench from Besiktas. This is a front line that can hurt anyone in the world on their day. Czech Republic, the organized machine. Czech Republic, coached by Miroslav Kvebek, who took over in December 2025 and qualified the country for their first World Cup in 20 years, a remarkable achievement. Their approach is completely different. From Korea, very pragmatic, very organized, very European. Coach Kobluk values tactical discipline, compactness, and controlled efficiency above everything else. Then they play a 3-4-2-1 system built around a box midfield. 4 midfielders in a compact box shape that locks down the center of the pitch. And when you think about Lee Kang-in being Korea's main creative threat who needs space to operate, this is specifically designed to shut down their strengths. Goalkeeper Mataj Kovar, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, from Bayer Leverkusen, one of the best young goalkeepers in Europe, sharp, commanding, excellent distribution, a very modern goalkeeper who gives the team confidence. Their defensive backbone, Robin Hranak and Ladislav Krejciki, a Slavy Praha pairing that is physically enormous, aerially dominant, and very organized. And crucially, Stefan Chaulapek is selected at the right center back, specifically to deal with Song Heung-min's pace on that side. That is a deliberate tactical choice by Kvebek. In midfield, Thomas Soucek, the West Ham veteran, and Vladimir Darida anchor the double pivot. Thomas Soucek is a massive aerial duels and dominates the box midfield. David Jurasek and Vladimir Koval operates as the wingbacks providing width. Their main attacking threat is Thomas Corey, a 199cm aerial monster, as the center forward for set pieces, corners, and the crosses in the box. This man is terrifying. Pavel Sulk and Patrick Schick operate as the dual number 10s behind him. Though Schick has been pulled back into a deeper playmaker role because of Lucas Provitz's injury. Speaking of which, Czech Republic's weaknesses are Lucas Provic, one of their key creative midfielders, is injured. His absence forced Patrick Schick to play a deeper role as a playmaker, which is not his natural role at all. This disrupts their attacking flow significantly. Their goalkeeper Kovar is technically excellent, but did give up some goals in the playoff matches that nearly cost them the qualification. And physically, Czech Republic is a very European team built for cooler temperatures. Their North American summer heat could become a factor, especially in the second half of the games. Their secret weapon, Adam Hovlex off the bench, a versatile, multifunctional super sub who can play virtually anywhere across the attack. He is specifically being saved as a second half game changer. Now, this is a head-to-head comparison. Mexico versus South Africa. Mexico, I'd rate it about 80 out of 100 going into this game. Strong structural maturity. Their center back pairing, midfield depth, and home advantage are their biggest assets. Their weaknesses in goal and at right back are real but manageable. South Africa are rated at 65 out of 100. Fragile due to their injury storm. Their goalkeeper is world class at the African level. Their midfield engine is functional, but that emergency center back is pairing facing experienced strikers is genuinely the problem. The conclusion is clear. Mexico are significantly better prepared. South Africa arrived at the opener with an experimental defense that experienced attackers like Raul Jimenez can absolutely be exploited. Now, Czech Republic versus South Korea. Czech Republic rated at 76 out of 100. High technical, organized, and physical dominance. Their box midfield is specifically designed to neutralize creative players like Lee Kang-in. South Korea rated 71 out of 100. Strong individually but tactically unstable. Their individually quality in attack is world class, but the tactical confusion, fragile goalkeeping, and defensive injuries pulled that rating down significantly. The key battle in this game is Czech Republic, physical organized versus Korea's individual brilliance. Czech Republic 3-4-2-1 box midfield is specifically built to lock down the space that Son Heung-min and Lee Kang-in need. Korea's only path to winning is throughout individual moments of magic. So that's your complete Group A breakdown, built entirely from tactical analysis, squad data, injury reports, and formation details from both matches. Mexico versus South Africa, South Korea versus Czech Republic, two games that could define this entire group. Which team do you think surprises everyone? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. I want to know what you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like and subscribe button. We're covering the entire 2026 World Cup. Every group, every knockout round, every storyline. The World Cup is here, and I'm ready. And for my prediction, Mexico versus South Africa, I think Mexico has the upper hand. They're either going to score 1-0 or 2-0. And for South Korea versus Czech Republic, I think they're going to be at a draw. They both have their advantages and disadvantages, and I think that's going to lead to like a balance between both of them. So it's either going to be 1-1 or 2-2.